Hi, everybody, and welcome. This is Visible Lady of Faith coming to you with an overview of the Sunday School lesson entitled Practice Justice for Sunday, May the 17th, 2020. Hi, as you know, last Sunday was Mother's Day, and I was telling you guys about my mom and how she had three girls, three of us, and we all had different fathers. So I wanted to wanted to continue a little bit about that story, and I wanted to talk about how I felt about being raised in a home without a father and having been raised not having a man's influence in my life. As I was growing up, as I got older, and I realized that I didn't have a father and he wasn't a part of my life, I always felt that I didn't want, if I ever had children, I didn't want that for them. I didn't want that to happen to them. I wanted them to know who their father was, and I wanted the father to have an active role in their lives, to influence them, to nurture them, and to love them. So with that being said, I really feel that I missed out on something by not having the influence and the love of a father in my life when I was growing up. And I didn't want that for my children. I felt that I wanted to break the cycle because I didn't want to carry on that cycle. So I can say that the three of us, two of us out of my mother's three children, two of us got married and had children, and the fathers are a part of the grown children's lives, even when they were little. The fathers are a part of their lives. And my sister, unfortunately, she had one son, and unfortunately, he passed away. In fact, this is May, I think last month, April. Yes. So I am grateful that my children has a father, and that he is still part of their lives. They're all grown up now and married and have children of their own. One of them has two children. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with y'all, and how many of y'all can relate to that? Like breaking cycles. I didn't want to get stuck in that place where my mom was, because I know it was painful for her, being that she had been given away when she was a baby by her biological mother. So to be raised and not really have the love and influence of your biological parent can be heartbreaking. So with that being said, let's go. Jeremiah was a prophet, and God gave him a message to give to Judah, aka the southern kingdom. So the message had two choices, and the first warning was to stay in Jerusalem and fight in the war, go through a famine and diseases, and die. And the second choice was to be held captive in exile by the Babylonians and live. Jeremiah's prophecy was directed toward the house of David. The house of David referred to King David's descendants. Judah was going through a difficult time and had refused to have faith in Yahweh and was rebellious. So because of this choice, Judah experienced oppression by the Babylonians. We are not forced to make a decision to accept and believe because we have free will. But remember, there are consequences for our choices and decisions. The path Judah chose resulted in them being taken into exile by the Babylonians. Even though God allowed the Babylonians to exercise power and authority over them temporarily, God was still in control of their situation, which was shown by their opportunity to return home to Jerusalem many years later. During the time when Jeremiah prophesied, Josiah was king of Judah. He was considered a righteous king because he tried to restore righteousness to the people, but they weren't having it. Even though Josiah may have felt frustrated because of the people's response, he persevered as their king, trying to keep the people engaged in Israel's religious traditions. This is a time to make better choices that make sense about being sick and tired of being stuck at home. Some people feel that their rights are being taken away. Our depressed economy cannot compare to our health. Are we willing to stay on lockdown no matter how long this pandemic lasts? Do we feel that we are being cheated out of our right to do what we want whenever we want? Are these challenges affecting our mental health? We sometimes have a tendency to make decisions that we don't thoroughly think through or think about the consequences of. I often do that, unfortunately. Sometimes I don't hold myself accountable for my actions and their consequences. I sometimes make excuses and procrastinate. So when the time comes for getting something done, I either get distracted by doing something else that makes me run late or not getting the job done at all. Who can relate to that? Have you ever wondered why some Jews stayed in Babylon and some chose to go back home to Jerusalem? Jeremiah, the prophet whom God spoke through, influenced that decision. After thinking about it, God speaks to us through the inspired word and people. When someone says something that we can relate to or touches us in some kind of emotional way, that may be God speaking to us or confirming something we already know. Sometimes, I'm just not sure. Even if we choose not to make a decision, we have made a decision not to make a decision. Our choices sometimes affect others. If we decide to spend money on stuff that we really want and don't have enough for rent or other bills, that will impact others who depend on us. Cheating on taxes or on a test in relationships impacts us and others, causing chaos. Some conversations, music, and movies we expose young children to impacts them. Sometimes the message may not be what we want to hear or it makes us uncomfortable, but it's probably something we need to hear. We may feel that we may have to give up too much and don't want to make that kind of sacrifice. Is her name. Applying the Sunday school lesson to our everyday life is her claim. Spiritual and personal growth is available to us all. Just practicing righteousness even when we fall. Sharing with y'all her heartfelt thoughts. Just trying to connect all the dots. A little creativity and fun along the way. Lessons learned won't ever lead us astray. Hi, as you know, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So with that being said, I believe that there are different degrees of mental health. Society puts labels on the different types of mental health illnesses or challenges. And some of these identities are depression, schizophrenia, bipolar, and anxiety. So I was just thinking, what do you think are some of the red flag behaviors for these mental health challenges? Do you think that a person who is just slow in understanding has mental health challenges? As believers, we should treat everyone with compassion, no matter what their mental health challenge is or what level of mental health that they're at. You see what I'm saying? So, because we all have mental health, but I think we all have different degrees or different levels of mental health. Some may not be as extreme as others, and just show love to everybody.